I want to discuss the reason for the law. The reason for the law. God gives law. But why? Is it that he wants to control us? Is it that he's afraid of rebellion or uprising or mutiny? Why does God give law? The reason for the law. The law is meant to explain the way of things. The law is given because the inhabitants of the planet or the inhabitants of the universe need guidance. The law is given as an instructional system to guide those who inhabit a habitat, who inhabit a place, in order to know what is required for success in that habitat. Some laws, so let me break the law into two now. Some laws are intrinsic, inherent. For instance, laws that govern animals, laws that govern plants. They are inherent, they are just there as natural, as something nobody promulgates, as something nobody, it is the way of things, because plants, if you put a seed in the soil, it grows by the law. And it will grow to be what the parent's plant is, irrespective of the wishes of the one who planted it. The seed will grow to become what the parent's plant is, the species, the type, the leaf structure or foliage. It will grow according to the habitat it should grow. It requires a particular nutrition or environment to grow. So when those things are not in place, the plant cannot survive. Those things must be in place for the plant to survive without talking, without doing anything. So these are natural laws, laws that just govern things, and then that's how it is. Animals, you see, animals behave in an environment according to the law of their lives. But when it comes to beings that have will, beings that have independent mind, beings that are personalities, beings that are like individuals, the law is something else. The law is given to them in such a way that they have the responsibility to adjust to the law or to rebel against the law. Because whatever has a will can choose to act in a particular way. So the law is given to these people, to these beings, to be chosen, to be studied, to be understood, unlike the case of animal, which is inherent. Animals don't need to learn the law. They don't need to go to school to study the law. They can't disobey the law and live. So, but in terms of human beings, they have to understand how to live. So the law is given to them to study. But guess what? Human beings rebel against it. Human beings fight against it. And so what is the reason for the troubles and confusions and worries and failures? Because we flout the law. We don't respect the law. We don't understand the value of the law. And so because we don't study to understand the law, we feel that the law is like, so let's say an encumbrance, so let's say like a bondage, so let's say like a inhibition. So the law comes like an inhibition to people. People want to rebel against it. Say, where there is a law, there is disobedience. No. Where there is no understanding of the law, that's where there is disobedience. Because whoever knows the law wants to obey it. Whoever knows the law of nutrition means that you need to eat breakfast, for instance, to sustain your system. You want to obey that law. Whoever knows that the law of rest is required for rejuvenation wants to rest. Whoever knows that the law of maybe exercise keeps the body healthy wants to obey the law. The reason for breaking of the law is not because of the law itself, it's because of the ignorance of the law. So the law needs to be studied. The law is given, as I said, as a manual for life, as a way of revealing the way of things. Okay, now I want to go a bit deeper. The deeper here is that I want to explain why the law is given, apart from the fact that the law is to help people to know the way of things. How is the law derived? How do you know this should be the law? How is the law determined? What is the parameter for saying this is a law? For instance, you want to make a law in a country. You look at social situations, look at the experiences of people and say, okay, we must make law this way to get this result. But in the universe, on what basis is the law established? Is the law promulgated? Is the law expressed? By what means? Now, let me come down to two things. Look at it. In the universe of existence, everything splits itself into two. It is when something splits that it multiplies. Multiplication is first a split into complement. When you split something into two, that is called complement. That is, the other side is the opposite of this, which makes this other one complete. That's complement. So you see, everything in existence first splits before it multiplies. So this splitting is the basis for many other things we see. It's the splitting of something. Is it made them male and female? Is it day, the first day and then the second day? Is it morning and evening? So is it made them to become, to have seed in itself. Multiplication came because there was a seed. Something that was created had a seed in itself to multiply itself. Multiplication comes because there is splitting. And when there's a splitting, to multiply, you must unite the two that are, what are split. What are split? What was split must be united for multiplication to occur. Think about that for a while. It takes union of what was split for the thing to multiply. Human beings have multiplied in number because there's a union of two. So they increase. Continuous union of the two multiplies it, or multiplies them, or multiplies anything. So it is so in atom, it is so in anything. It's so in plants and animals and everything. So because of this split, every law is derived from the fact that there is a split of what was one. Every law. Let me take the law of these two, the law of two now, the law of complement. You see, we talk of, God gave 10 commandments, for instance. Out of the 10 commandments, 2 have been spotted out as the cardinal. If you fulfill these 2, you fulfill all the commandments. What is the commandment? What is the 2 commandments? What are the 2 commandments? Thou shalt love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your mind, with all your soul, with all your strength. That is really scary. If you think about it, to love God with all your soul, then you have nothing to love anything else. But that is what is required when there is a split of 1 into 2. So one side of the law is vertical. Love the Lord with all your heart, with all your might, with all your strength. That's vertical. The second side of the law is horizontal. It says, thou shalt love your neighbor as yourself. Horizontal. This is horizontal. This is vertical. So vertical, I go upward towards God. But all I have, all that is in me, all my personality energy, I garner them up to move towards God. Then for me to move towards God, I have to recognize my environment. I have to be sociable. I have to be hospitable. I have to be relational. I have to be accepting. I don't have to be hostile and conflictual to live. So that is being horizontal. That is loving your neighbor as yourself. If you oppose your neighbor, you can't go far with God. If you say I want to love just vertical, you cannot just go with God alone and don't have no relation with anybody. Now that we say I want to love neighbor, for instance, I say I'm a humanist. Only human beings matter. Only human beings exist. Human beings all the alpha and omega. I don't care about God. No, human beings came from somewhere. Human beings go to somewhere. Human beings have a purpose that is defined by what is bigger than them. So you must understand the law must be in two. If you love human beings, what is the next? What's the complement of that human love? That's divine love. So you see the law there is horizontal. It says it's a split of things into two. And you see, that's the law that man reveals itself as a cross. When Jesus came, he died on the cross. And when he died on the cross, he fulfilled the law. The law of loving God and loving humanity. The cross reveals that. Now come to think about it. We are the cross ourselves. The cross is not a stick out there. The cross is not an emblem that was revealed in Jerusalem some 2,000 years ago. The cross is not a Roman invention. The cross is embedded in existence. That's why human being was created. And you see, we have arms like this, we have legs like this. Can you find out why we are the way we are? You see, we have this side, we have this side. Why is this so? That's the cross. That's the cross. So you see the law consummated in our existence, in our nature, in our being, in our design. So we carry the law here, the law of horizontal, the law of vertical. Vertical relationship, horizontal relationship. We carry the law. So you can't ignore, and this is important, we don't break the law. We can't break the law. We can only fulfill the law. Because anytime you break the law, you only fulfill it. That is, it fulfills what it says it will do against you. If you obey the law, it fulfills itself what it said it would do for you. So the law cannot be broken. It can only be fulfilled. So there is no point attempting to break the law, because you can't break it. It is a way of existence. And it's given to you for study, for knowledge, for enlightenment, for wisdom, for understanding on how to live, how to carry out your affairs. You can't break the law of business and survive in business. You can't break the law of governance and govern a people. You can't break the law of relationship and have a good union. The law is to be understood, is to be studied. I'm looking forward to a time that humanity will develop institutions for understanding the laws of existence. Beyond reading commandments. See, we shall take a series of discussion and then pick the law of God one after the other to make you see why it is given. For you to see the beauty of the law. No longer will you dread the law, but you discover that the law is necessary, is required, is essential, is good for our existence, and it is by obeying it, by understanding it, by yielding to it, that we advance and fulfill our existence. Thank you so much. If you find this discussion useful, please consider liking our page on Facebook, subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Instagram, and we shall come your way again and again and again for further discussions.